Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Taking Care of Your Temple podcast. This is Dr. Melissa Rich, and I have an amazing guest here with me who I will introduce in just a few minutes. So for those of you who are not familiar with this podcast, the objective of it is to try to help women connect with God regularly and to use his power, might, grace, strength, wisdom, all the things to improve their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health and well-being. There are 4 principles that I recommend following that will help you do this. The first one is to keep our focus on God. This sounds really basic, but y'all, it is so easy to get distracted. Do you ever find that you get distracted trying to?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like we end up chasing mental rabbits all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you find that you are having to constantly pull your focus back on and push the distractions away, you are normal. Congratulations, because we do it. I think everybody does it. But just keep doing it. The second principle is to acknowledge that we are not enough on our own. And I've said this before. This was a lot harder for me to do when I was younger. You know, you feel like you know everything when you're younger.
Yeah.
Do you find that the older you get, you realize you know less than you thought? Yeah. So as I have gotten older, this has become a lot easier for me. I'm just like, I don't know. I need your help. And he is so happy to give it, which is really an amazing thing. Then to remember, it is about progress, not perfection. I think as women, a lot of times we beat ourselves up because we're not doing things perfectly. And, we're not going to be able to. Perfection is an illusion. If you're doing something perfectly, enjoy it, because you'll probably be perfect for about 3 minutes. Then something will happen, right? Go
Exactly.
it off. Yeah. So, have fun with it. And then the last thing is to work on consciously changing our thoughts. The reason this is important is that if you are giving yourself a lot of negative, toxic messages, it is going to affect everything, how you think, how you act, how you feel. And that is just something that is being researched so much nowadays, and they're realizing how important it is. So if you find that your thoughts are not very helpful, ask God to help you change them, and he will. Okay, so the verse for this podcast that I love is 1 Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in you? I mean, I just think that is a perfect verse for this podcast. Okay, so today, sometimes it's just me on the podcast. Sometimes I have amazing guests. Today I do, and this is Rose Blankenship. So, Rose, we're going to be talking about essential oils today, Young Living essential oils, which you've been with for years, haven't you?
7 years.
Okay. So before we get to that, tell us a little bit about your background, kind of where you grew up, your work and school experience, your family, husband and kids, and how you came to be living in Waco.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, Melissa, for having me on today.
My pleasure.
I'm excited to talk with you today and with your with the people that listen to your podcast. I'm excited about that. So I am a native Texan. I was born in Victoria, Texas. So I am. It's in between. Well, it's South Texas.
Okay.
More south than Houston, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So
like near Galveston?
Yeah, Galveston, Corpus.
Okay.
That way.
I'm curious. I'd never heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Victoria, Texas.
Okay.
I've worked in all kinds of jobs, but the 2 jobs that really stand out to me are when I was in my late 20s. I was a single mom. I had to work. I had to get a little bit of an education, and I became a nurse's aide. And so that was just one of the jobs that I really did like, because I was helping people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I did that for a couple of years, and then I went ahead and moved up to the Dallas area. My brother was living there, and since I was single, I had my 3 children. He told me to go ahead and move up there with him. He was also a single dad, and so moved in with him and started working for, I feel like was an amazing job. Some people may not think so, but I worked for a drug and alcohol company. And I was a supervisor for a call center where people would call in for pre-employment drug test. And we would schedule them out to the different clinics where they did those things. And so anyways, and that's where I met my husband now, Randy. he was working in the accounting department at that company,
Okay.
and that's where we worked. And then I moved up to customer service, which was even a more, I feel like, in my scope of what I like to do. So
Right.
I was able to help our customers with their accounts and
Oh, nice.
help them find solutions for different things. And so I felt like that was a
I can
great
see
job.
you being really good at that. Yeah.
So like I said, I really love helping people
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
figuring things out and their solutions. So it was a perfect job for me. I worked there for 10 years.
Wow.
All the way up until like 2 weeks before, well, backtrack a little bit. Randy and I got married during that time, and I got pregnant with Grayson, who is my 19-year-old now.
Oh,
And
goodness.
I worked up all the way until about 2 weeks before I had him,
Okay.
because I went into premature labor and I had him early. But
Okay.
anyway, so I really did love those two jobs. Really, I've had other jobs, but
Yeah.
those are the two that stood out for me. And then, so I stopped working after I had him, and I stayed home. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I did some homeschooling and all that kind of fun,
Brave woman.
challenging stuff. Yeah,
I never did that. I thought that's a lot.
it is a lot. But anyways, it was what we needed to do at the
Yeah.
time.
Absolutely.
And so anyways, but then, then we got him back into school. So
Yeah.
anyways, he's graduating this year, and,
Yes.
thankful for the time that we did have with the homeschooling and everything.
Right.
So anyways, but we moved to Waco when my husband was offered a job here in Waco, and
Okay.
he had gone to Baylor here.
Okay.
And that's where he got
Yeah.
his accounting degree. And so he and I were ready to come back to a smaller town.
Yeah.
Traffic and everything's so
Yeah.
crazy
Oh, yeah.
in
At
Dallas.
DFW. So when did you, about how long have you been in Waco?
We moved here when Grayson was, I believe he was 3. So it's been 16 years ago.
I can tell you're a parent because you're like me. You measure things by how old your kids were
Yeah.
at the time. That's how you remember stuff.
Right. Or how old I was.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
yeah. It's
Mine is usually my kids. So
Yeah. Gotta keep
Yeah.
track of things. So
So you've been here 16 years about.
yeah,
Okay.
16 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, so moved here, and everything was great. I have 3 older children as well from my first marriage. They're all adults, all married, have 4 grandkids as well. And
Nice.
so yeah, so that's my
Okay.
family life. But also want to say, for some reason, I don't know, I decided when I was about 50 years old, I'm not going to say how old I am now, but when I was 50, I decided that I was going to go back to school.
Okay.
Went to MCC, got my associate's degree.
Which is, tell them what MCC stands for.
McLennan Community College.
Yeah. Sorry. I can never remember. I just say MCC too, and then
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah. And so that really wasn't on my radar or on my bucket list or anything like that to do. I don't know, just something I decided
Felt God was
to
leading you
do.
in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got married when I was 18 years old.
Your first
The
marriage.
first time. Yes, right out of high school.
Wow.
I graduated in May, got married in September. I wanted to have a family.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that, and so I never did have a chance to go to college. Then I started having kids right away. So then that kind of
puts a damper on it.
Yeah. But anyways, so I was so glad that I did go, did that. I just want to encourage anybody that wants to go back to school that you need to go ahead and do it. If you're feeling that, tug, you need to go ahead and just.
It's never too late.
No, it is never too late.
And I've taught in a couple of universities, and one of the biggest segments when I left, and I've stopped teaching probably 6-7 years ago, and I know it's just increased, is adult education.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of adults like you who are coming back to get their degree because they either didn't get one at all or they've changed. They had their degree in this, but now what they really are working in is this. And that's really that's like for most schools, I would say a lot of schools, that's their biggest population.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's really expanded.
Yeah. And I just feel like I had a better, I don't know, like it was more valuable to me
Yes,
as
it meant more.
an adult
You bet.
than I think if I would have been younger. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that out
Cool.
of my own experience.
Well, good for you. Okay, so on the essential oils, how and about when did you start using essential oils?
So in June of 2016
Okay.
is when a friend of mine introduced essential oils to me.
Okay.
Now, I've never had any idea how to use them, never heard of them really.
Right. Didn't know what they were.
Didn't know what they were. In fact, I was so intimidated by them that I was just worried that I was going to like put on too much
Use
or
it
smell
wrong.
them too much.
Yeah,
Something. Yeah. So I was just really intimidated by that. But she says, no, these are a good thing.
Yeah.
She didn't know anything about them either, but there was this sale. So I'm always one to go for a good sale.
Yeah.
So she said, there's a sale on this kit and it has all these oils and the diffuser, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, great. Let's just do this. Ask my husband. I think it took me like 3-4 days before I actually like hit the confirm or check out button or whatever to get it. So anyway, so I decided to give them a try and ordered the kit, got the diffuser and everything. But it just sat on my kitchen counter for like, I guess 2 weeks or so. And little did I know that they were going to be an amazing help to me later on down the line.
Yeah.
And I say that because in January of 2017, just 6 months from getting my kit, just kind of dabbling here and there in it, I started having trouble like sleeping. I was moody. I have to say, extremely moody. Just ask my husband and he'll tell you.
He'll confirm that. Huh?
Yes. So it was really a hard time for me. I was having trouble focusing and doing the things that I normally would do. I was feeling so out of whack. I was like,
that's hard.
Angry. All the things.
Especially when that's not typical for you.
Right.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, I'm pretty much low key,
Yeah.
calm person, and everything was getting on my nerves, and I was just very uptight.
Yeah.
So during this time, I was like, okay, I've got to learn about essential oils. I know there's people that know about them more than I do because I knew hardly anything. And I was told that these oils were great for relaxation, for calming and things like that. And I was like, oh, I definitely need that.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I started using them and started getting the effects of the oils to help me relax. So I'd say it was a godsend kit is what it was.
Yeah.
It really helped. God knows what we need when we need them. We just need to ask
before we need it.
Yes.
Which is so nice.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, if anybody's wondering what was going on with me at that time, it was menopause. That's what was happening with me.
Yeah.
And so I was able to, excuse me, get the oils that I just had in my kit, which were like, I think 10 of them, and use them to help me actually get started. And that's pretty much what kind of like boosted me into learning more about them because I was getting such great benefits from
them. So when you started using them for specifically the I don't know, the frustration or stress or annoyance and everything, it sounds like you probably did some trial and error, tried this to see if it works, tried that, and just kind of figured out this combination works really well for me.
Right.
And did that make you become interested in finding out more? Because obviously now you're selling them.
Oh, definitely. Because that was only just a small number of essential oils that Young Living has.
Oh, they have.
I mean, that was like 10 or 12. So, I mean, we have over, I don't know.
How many are there? A couple of hundred?
I have no idea.
Bunches.
I know we have over 600 products, I think.
Okay.
I don't know what the number is. They're always
adding more.
Yeah. But as far as essential oils, I don't know. Because that's another thing they're always adding as well for those. So, but my thing was, I started telling everyone about how the essential oils were working for me with my experience. So I'm not a salesperson. Honestly, I don't like being sold to. I know a lot of people don't like being sold to. That turns me off right away. So what I did was I just listened to people's stories, experiences, and then I was able to say, well, this is what I did, and this is what I used, and I would give them the opportunity to go ahead and try.
These are the results that I got.
Right. And so try it for yourself.
Sure.
No pressure. I mean, I don't like being pressured, and I certainly don't pressure anyone. I just let them know what I use and have them try it. And like you said, trial and error. Everybody's body is different.
Yeah.
So what may work for me and my issues or experience or situation may be different for you or for anybody else. So yeah. And the essential oils are amazing. So whatever you smell and helps you, then that's the oil you go to. That's the oil you're gonna use. So,
and I think a lot of times I found my body kind of instinctively knows what I need. I mean, you're kind of drawn to
yes,
whatever is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. All right,
that's so true.
I'm going to skip around a little bit. So I'm going to back up. I started using essential oils probably in 2015, 16, and you did it because your friend recommended it, right? You thought, I want to see what this is.
Yeah.
I did it because I was doing hypnosis and I wanted a concrete focus that I could give to my clients to take with them so that I could say, well, whenever you smell that oil, then, you'll remember or whatever. So I thought, because I was trying to think, what can I give them? And I remembered hearing about essential oils. I was like you, I didn't know what they were, but I thought, oh, let's find out. So I started doing some research and found out what they were. And I was like, oh yeah, they're in a little bottle. I can give that to people. That'll be easy. It'll be great. And they can smell them. I mean, that's all you have to do. It's not like it's going to be a complicated procedure.
Right.
So I started doing that. And then and I've totally lost my train of thought here. Oh, so I started doing research on, well, what kinds? Because even then there were several companies and there's more now. But I wanted to get good ones. And I liked what I found out about Young Living. Yes. They are a little bit more expensive than some of the others. So worth it. So tell us a little bit. I mean, I'm assuming you agree that Young Living essential oils are like the best ones.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Tell us some things that they do that make them so good.
So when I was just starting, I did a lot of research because first of all, the different things that I was dealing with, the insomnia, the moodiness, all of that stuff. And I started reading that toxins could have an effect on our different systems in our bodies. And the main one that I was actually dealing with were my hormones. And so we don't want to put any extra synthetic ingredients into our bodies, those types of things.
It's not helpful.
Chemicals, no. Because then, I mean, I was already kind of like, out of whack, and I didn't want to use anything that was, toxic or making things worse.
Yeah, I did that too. And I found out one of the worst things is fabric softener. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I've not used that for years now because it's so bad for you.
Yeah.
And I haven't used laundry detergent either. I have these little magnetic balls with magnetic things in them that I got from Amazon.
Wow.
And when they wear out, I just get some others. But it's just normal stuff that we think is fine.
Yeah.
Is not so fine.
Yeah. It's because we think that, the fragrance and the smell and all of that will, help with whatever that we're doing. And those are the worst things.
I find, in fact, I was in a grocery store yesterday. When I walk down the laundry aisle in a grocery store, it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so sensitive to those smells, and I almost like hold my breath the whole time I'm walking because it bothers me.
Yeah. And I think when when you find out what they actually do,
how bad they
body,
are,
how harmful, then that's when, but the Young Living oils, what is so amazing about them, and you were saying that, the price and all of that, there's so much that goes into it.
Yes.
So Young Living doesn't just go get the plant matter, distill it, put it in a
Right.
bottle and label it, and we're done, right? They make sure that when they do actually cut down the plant, that it's at the peak of the harvest
Right.
of where it has the most potent um, constituents, which is actually just the compound
Right.
chemicals
In the
them.
plants.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the plants.
They're very intentional
Yes.
about how they make their oils.
Right, right. So it's not just a quick for profit type of a company.
Yeah, scoop up some plants and squish them up.
So, I mean, and that's really just, I mean, that really is not really the start. The start is the seed, the soil.
Seed to soil. Seed to seal. Seed to seal. Yeah, close. Seed to seal. Yeah, tell us about that, because that's on their logo.
Yes, yes. So yeah, this is their trademark. They look for farms, and so now the farms that they have are pretty much established already. But when they were first looking for farms, D. Gary Young, who's the founder of Young Living Essential Oils, he would go out, he would actually test the soil, make sure that no pesticides or herbicides or anything
chemicals, anything used.
And they can test the soil to see how far back or how much.
Yeah. And my understanding is they would get they could not have had any of that on them for 50 years.
Right. 50 years. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, right away, just from them putting that seed in the soil, that the soil has to be clean soil.
Yep.
And then they harvest at peak times of that plant. And then the distilling process is also another thing where when they get the plant matter and they put it in the vat to steam distill, the temperature has to be a certain temperature.
Right.
It has to be steamed for a certain amount of time. So all of this is something that they have already figured out.
Yes.
A long time ago.
They're also through trial and error.
Yes. And so anyways, it's just amazing. It's incredible.
Do they still, I know in the beginning they handpicked a lot of their plants. Do they still do that with all of them, or some of them?
Well, they don't handpick the plants. They handpick the weeds. They weed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that they don't disturb the plants.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
I knew they handpicked something. Okay.
Yeah. So the amazing thing about that is that they're constantly finding or researching and finding new ways to farm. And so what they're doing now is when you go to the Mona farm in Utah.
And people can tour those farms.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. All of the farms are open. You can even, call and make an appointment and go tour it. And whenever they have those available, they can.
On my bucket list.
Yeah. So when you go to the Mona farm, I've been there several times with the Young Living Convention and for different events that they've had, but they now have sheep on the farm.
Oh, really?
And so those are the weed pickers now.
Yeah.
So they will,
smart.
So they'll eat the weeds. And also a new thing that they are trying is in the rows that they don't have the plants, they're planting other plants that will repel the bugs, that will help with disease and all that kind of thing.
And maybe putting stuff into the soil as well. I know that some farmings they'll do that too. So yeah.
And all they do is any of the oils that they can't use, like bottle and sell, they will put them back into
the soil,
the plants. Yeah. So that's amazing.
I'm going to throw this off. I meant to put it in the questions I sent you, but I forgot. Tell us, you mentioned him. Tell us a little about D. Gary Young. I mean, I read his life story, which I was just like, wow.
Yeah. I know I don't know all the dates and all the stuff or whatever about him, but I know he started small.
Yep.
He had a building and he just had this vision of wanting to help people with natural products to help with their health and wellness. Yeah.
Well, I do know he grew up on a farm because in the beginning he designed a lot of the distilling, a lot of the machinery.
Yes.
Because at a farm you're always having to tinker and fix things. And so he did that.
Yeah.
And as I recall, he had this horrendous accident when he was like in his 20s.
Yeah, he did. And he was actually in a wheelchair for a while, and he started working on his health.
And I think that's why he got so interested in all of this.
Yeah.
He kept looking. And he was told by several doctors he would never walk again.
Yeah.
And
there he was. Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
But I just think he's such an interesting person. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry. All right. So Young Living makes sure. And I did see on your Facebook page, the Young Living Lavender Farm and Distillery in Mona, they recently won an award.
Yeah, and I looked that up too, and I'm thinking that is let me see okay. So I think you might be talking about the 2023 Green Business Award.
Maybe, yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So this is an award that recognizes Young Living for their conservation efforts and the dedication to protecting wildlife. And what is really cool about that is that Young Living created monarch butterfly station.
The monarch butterfly thing. That's what they got an award for. Yes, that I was looking at.
Yeah. So they are the first.
That's so cool.
The first farm to receive the Monarch Farm USA title.
Yes.
So they have these different way stations, and it's really just like flowers, like plants and stuff, so that the butterflies can come there and they can pollinate and they can, do all the stuff that they do.
Oh, cool.
So they also work with other pollinators like bees. So they have bees that they work.
And the bee populations are in trouble anyway. So
yeah,
I'm glad that they're helping with that.
So they're doing that too.
So back to the seed to seal. I know, and I don't know if this is what it's talking about, but I know that Young Living checks their products at certain points along the way.
Yes.
And is that what that is referring to?
Yeah. So from where they plant the seed in the soil, all the way up until they actually have the finished product and they're fixing to put it into the bottle.
Right.
They do these rigorous tests along the whole way.
Yeah.
So when they first distill it, they go ahead and test it. They go ahead and, I don't know how many tests they do. They do a lot of tests. And they want to make sure that they're going to be able to offer the best and most potent oils.
Well, one of the things I love about the company is they really do quality over profit. I don't know if you remember, but several years ago, Valor is one of the most popular oils. Mm-hmm. And it was like blue juniper or some specific tree that was in it that there just weren't any. I mean, there'd been a lot of disease and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And so there was no Valor, and people were clamoring for it. They finally found some of the trees that they needed on this land that looked okay. They did it, did the whole process, got to like the next to the last checkpoint, and it didn't pass. Mm-hmm. And instead of selling it, they put it all back into the soil. Yeah. And I thought there are not many companies that would have done that.
No, right. Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing too, is that from time to time, there won't be oils available because of that purpose. And they're not gonna sell it just to get money for it, Yeah.
And they're not gonna make a cheap substitute, or they did come out with a different Valor 2 or something, but it was understood that it was not the original one. It was a kind of a derivative.
Yeah.
So,
and now there's like an original Valor that just came out like a few months ago. And that one actually has the oil of rosewood in it, which was like the original of Valor.
Yeah.
And so it has a little bit of a different aroma to it.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I got me a bottle because I was like, well, this is the original. I got to get one. Yeah.
So I wanted to talk to Young Living owns or partners with farms all over the world. So tell us, you've been to the Mona one. Tell us about some other ones that you've been to and kind of what they were like.
Yeah. So, they have so many farms, and I was going to go and try to figure out like how many they were. And I was like, I can't do that. Yeah. So they have company owned farms, which
Young Living
that's
owns.
What it is. Yeah. And then they have partner farms. So other people own them, and they just,
they work closely with Young Living, and probably Young Living is their main customer, I would imagine.
Yeah, and their farming standards have to be what Young Living follows. Right. So if they don't partner with them. So anyways, the two that I have been to, I've only been to two.
Okay.
Been to the Mona Farm many times, like I said.
Is that the lavender? Is that what they do?
Lavender, and they also
Go there.
have Melissa there too. Melissa.
Nice.
So the Mona Farm in Utah is one of them, and then the Highland Flats Farm in Idaho. I've been to that one as well.
What do they specialize in there?
That one is the Idaho. Idaho. What did I write on here? I should know because it's one of my favorites.
Here.
Grand Fir. Idaho Grand Fir.
What is Grand Fir?
Grand Fir.
Oh, Grand Fir. I see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I thought you were saying like grandma, Grand Fir or something. Okay. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a certain kind of tree.
Yeah, it's a tree. It's like a spruce or it's one of the conifers.
Because they use in different oils.
Yeah, well, it is a standalone oil.
Grand Fir.
Idaho Grand Fir
for that.
from the tree. So the Mona is more of it's a working farm, and they do have plants, and they do distill, and they do all of that there with the lavender and the Melissa, and I think there may be one or two more that they do harvest there. But it's more of like when you go to convention, that's the closest farm.
Yeah.
So it's more of there's entertainment there.
Right. Fun things to do.
They have the Percheron horses there. They're these big black, stallion-like.
Cool.
They're huge and they're beautiful. And they have shows. Those are show horses.
Cool.
So they have like an arena, and they have shows there and stuff like that. And they have a Young Living store there, so you can go in and look at all the things and buy whatever.
That's a real family type of destination.
Yeah,
is what it sounds like. Is Mona the one? I know there's one place that I really want to go to where they do a lot of lavender, and the plants that they don't use, a lot of times they put them in the hot tubs, so you can get in these hot tubs that have all the lavender plants in it. Is that Mona? Do you know? Or they may not even do that.
Well, we did that at the Highland Flats Farm.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So,
fun.
Yeah, and then going back to Mona, they also have jousting. It's it's like a Renaissance. Yeah.
Fun.
So that's really cool. So the son of D. Gary Young, Jacob Young, he does a lot of the jousting. And it's a show, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. They get all dressed up, and it's just this really cool thing.
Sounds amazing.
Now the Highland Flats Farm, that one's a working farm too. But it's more of a working farm. It doesn't have all that extra entertainment and stuff like that. It's beautiful there, relaxing, mountains, all the fir trees, spruce, all that kind of stuff. And it just smells so fresh and amazing. Yeah. So I was able to be a part of the harvesting there, the group that went.
See, that's what I was thinking about, hand picking. So y'all just hand picked, not all of them, but.
Well, so we went out to a field where the trees are, and the guys that work at the farm, they did the cutting.
Okay.
Of all the branches.
Okay, because they know how to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And we just gathered it and put it in a trailer. They drove the trailer over to the warehouse or the housing for the big vats that they put the matter. Actually, before that, they put it in a chipper. So it's all these chips of plant matter, and then they chip it. And then they put it in the vat. We were able to actually get in the vat with the plant matter and
oh my gosh,
jump on it because you have to pack it down.
Oh, kind of like a wine pressing thing with the grapes. Yeah.
Fun. So we packed it down. The aroma is just amazing, just in that part. And it's not even steam distilled yet. And then they let it sit in the distiller for X amount of time, and it comes out. And we were able to go and put it in the bottle ourselves and label it and all that stuff. So it was like through the whole process.
That is nice.
That, so it was fun.
So with these farms that Young Living owns, obviously people who are, and I'm sorry, are you a Young Living distributor? I never remember. Demonstrator? What's the title? Representative?
Let me think. Well, I think we just call ourselves members.
Okay.
Young Living members.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it just the Young Living members that can go to these farms, or is it open to the public?
I want to say it's open to the public, but
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
All right. Well, I guess I can find out. I can
Yeah.
go look and see.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So you
Mhm.
recently became certified in the raindrop technique, which sounds really amazing. Tell us about that, how it works, all of that.
Yeah, so the raindrop technique was actually created by D. Gary
Yeah,
Young,
I figured
founder of
that.
Young
Yeah,
Living.
yeah.
Um, he he was always looking for ways of helping the body,
Mhm.
like, and I'm gonna try to say as compliant as I can, but just find some benefits in different ways in a natural way
Sure.
to help the body to uh, heal itself, things like
Yeah,
that.
release stress, feel better. Yeah.
And he went to go visit the Dakota Indians, and he was able to see what they did with their people. And one of the ways that they were practicing is a feathering technique with an actual feather, and on the back, on the spine. And so, of course, he revised that in the raindrop technique to not using a feather. We use our fingers, but we do a feathering technique. And so it's a massage like technique, but it's not a massage like the traditional massage that you would think.
So it's your fingers, but you're also using different oils.
Yeah, so we used 8 different oils on the back. We can add other ones depending on if
what
there's
the situation
other,
is. Yeah.
other things. Yeah. And so basically it's a technique that helps with relaxation. It helps with detoxing, things in your body that don't need to be there, which may sound a little scary to some people, detoxing and that all that, but it really isn't. It's just really the oils, these are we believe they're God-given, they're God-created plants for us to use. And the body, the oils are used and the body just detoxes what it doesn't need with the use of the oils. And with the technique that we use, we're just helpers, so.
It sounds very relaxing.
Yeah, it is. It's about 45 minutes to an hour session that it usually takes. And of course, it is a non-secular technique, which is spiritual. And so I do pray over my receivers, clients, whatever you want to call them, that are receiving the raindrop. And so I do ask them to do that as well, to pray through it so that they can release whatever it is, whether it's emotional or physical, during that time in the raindrop technique. So,
and if people are interested in that, how can they find someone to do that? I mean, can they look online at Young Living's website and find somebody?
Yeah. So the agency or the school that I went through is called CARE, so Center for Aromatherapy Research and Education. They have a directory. So if you live in a different state than Texas, or you live out of Waco and you need to find somebody, that you can go on there and you can find somebody.
Yeah.
So
cool. Now, you mentioned before, along with essential oils, Young Living has a ton of other products. One of my favorites is Ninja Red.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. I love Ninja Red. It's just so cool.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's something that I drink every day. It's got so many great benefits.
It's a little juice.
It's a pureed. They puree the wolfberry.
Okay.
So the wolfberry is from a province or a
in China.
In China, yeah.
Is it Ningxia
province in China.
Spell it, please.
Ningxia.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they put all these superfruits together. Aronia is one that I had never heard of before, but aronia, plum, blueberry, pomegranate, and the Ningxia wolfberries. And if you go online and you look up these fruits, you'll see that they have a very high antioxidant properties. And so combining all of these together, the wolfberry is the highest on the ORAC scale, which is where they rate all the different foods and different things to say how high or where their level is on the antioxidant scale. And so the Ningxia wolfberries are the highest. It's way up there. And what they do is they puree it so that they can get all of it in there. Even the seeds, the seeds, all of it, everything, so that they can get that in there. And so it's kind of like the goji berry. So if anybody knows what a goji berry is, it's in the same family, or that's what it's called here. As a matter of fact, my husband bought 2 goji berry bushes, and so we have those, and he'll get them off the plant and he'll dehydrate them, or what do you call them? Yeah, dehydrate them.
I think that's right.
And you can just eat them
like raisins or something.
Yeah, they're a little bit crunchy.
Are they planted like in your backyard or something?
Yeah, they're in our backyard. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He'll go and he'll pick them and he'll do that, and then we'll have them as a snack and
stuff.
That's
so cool.
But you can also buy them, the wolfberries from Young Living. They do have those available that you can buy them in, and I put them in like yogurt and stuff like that.
They come in bags. Now, I think I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the wolfberries only grow there in the Ningxia province in China.
Mm-hmm.
And does Young Living buy all of them?
So actually, Young Living owns that farm.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
They own that farm now, and so that's where they grow them. And it's kind of in a valley where there's not a lot of like city pollution and things like that. The air is very clean there, and so that's why a lot of the people that live around there are healthy. They live old to be older and things like that, because they eat that as one of their fruits.
Well, the other thing I like about the Ninja Red is that it actually tastes good. A lot of these things that are good for you, you're just like, oh, and you hold your nose and force it down. This stuff is really delicious.
Yeah, it is delicious. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm like, recommended is about 2 ounces a day, but sometimes I drink 4 or 6 ounces, and it's really good. It's great for your immune system, your digestive system.
And one of the things I like about it too, you can get it in the big bottles and just get 2 ounces out, or they come in the little 2 ounce packets. So you can just throw a couple in your purse, stick it in your refrigerator at work, and just pull it out. And,
you can even freeze them, and it's like a little slushy.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've not tried that.
Cut the top off, and then like a little slushy.
Wow. Learn something new every day.
Good. Very for the kids too.
Cool. Very cool. So, one of my favorites is, I love a lot of the oils, and my favorite is probably lime. I know that's just a regular one. It's not anything exotic, but it just smells so good. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
So this is probably like asking you to pick your favorite child, but what would you say is your favorite oil, or some of your favorite oils?
Well, I got to thinking about that because that was a hard question. Yeah. But some of the ones that I'm using right now, a lot of the times I use them because there's a reason or there's a purpose that I need to use them. But of course, like all of the citrus oils,
I love them.
I call them happy oils because they make you smell. They make you feel happy. Yeah, because they smell so fresh and citrusy.
Yes.
My top oils that I like to use are frankincense and orange, and these together have been clinically studied to fight off free radicals.
Interesting.
So those are ones that I can't say too much here, but free radicals are those things that attack the body, and we don't want to have that because our bodies can be unwell. And so the different ways that you can use the oils, which I think you might have asked me this already, but you can use this aromatically by just smelling them, which I do that. And then I also put them in a diffuser, and topically you can put them wherever you need them, wherever you have any kind of discomfort or anything like that. You can also put that on your skin.
And Young Living has the Vitality series.
The Vitality oils, which is the third way that you can use them by ingesting them.
Yep.
So the
a few drops in your tea or ice water.
Yes, water, or even a capsule. So you can buy these little vegetable capsules
that are empty, and you can fill them.
Yes, for whatever oils that you want to use.
Yeah.
So, I use Endoflex blend. So this is a blend that was put together for the endocrine system, for the hormones. So I put those over my thyroid to, just support my thyroid. And, there's other hormone releasing and create the ones that create your glands, or your different things that create the hormones. That's where you want to put the Endoflex. So
two of the other products that I really like, they come in a roll-on from Young Living. It's a little glass tube, with a thing that just rolls onto your skin. And one is, I think it's Breathe Right. Is that right?
Breathe Again.
Breathe Again. Yes. So if I'm congested or whatever, I'll just put some, over me, and I really can feel myself opening up.
Yes.
And the other one that I keep in my bed, just an arm reach away, because I have bursitis in both of my hips that connect up, is Deep Relief. And I'll just get some when it starts hurting and just roll it on the area. And it feels better, like instantly.
Oh, yeah. Those are great. So the Breathe Again has eucalyptus in
it. I can smell that.
Which is great for, and everybody knows that eucalyptus helps release
unclog you and
your respiratory system and stuff like that. And the Deep Relief, that's really great. Has I'm not sure all the ingredients it has in it, but I'm sure peppermint is in there, things like that to help release.
And a lot of people use them. I remember you and I both go to the same church. We've been there for a while. And back when we still had choir practice, which we don't do anymore, I sat next to this lady, and she had like 8 or 12 bottles of essential oils in her purse.
Oh, wow.
And if she got a headache, she would just pull out lemon and peppermint and just start rubbing it on her forehead. But it really does. I mean, it can make you feel better. So I just love them. I think they're very cool.
Yeah. On that same that you're saying about this lady, me and my husband were talking this morning about how our home has totally been cleared out of all of the over-counter things that we used to buy.
Right.
Everything is oil. So if he says, "Oh, this is happening to me," or "That's going on," I'll be like, "Have you thought about trying, this essential oil?"
Yeah.
And then that's what he does. So he has his stash. He has his stash at work.
Yeah.
So he uses them all.
I'm a big believer in them. And again, they're all natural. And I don't want to trash talk any other companies, but I do know there are companies who make essential oils and they put in chemicals or fillers or, all this other stuff that just kind of defeats the whole point.
Right.
And so I don't sell Young Living. So y'all, I'm not making any money on this, but I recommend them to people because they're so good.
Yeah.
And when I recommend them to clients, I will say, if you're going to use essential oils, go with Young Living, because I know there are probably some other lines out there now that are good. But back when I first started using, they were the only ones that I knew, no chemicals, no preservatives, no additives, no fillers in any of them.
Right.
Because some of the companies, they'll keep some of their essential oils, free where they need to be, and others, they will put stuff in. And it's like, if you go with Young Living, they're all going to be safe.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine. And you're going to get, who has time to do that?
So what I found out early on in my quest in knowing whether I should use and why I should use Young Living was that I read that the FDA only requires 5% of essential oil to be in the bottle.
It's ridiculous.
So there's no regulations or restrictions or limitations or whatever on what essential oil companies can do. Young Living could do that too, but they choose not to.
Yes.
It's 100% essential oil that they steam distill, put in the bottle.
Yep.
There are some blends that they will add coconut oil to.
And they're labeled as blends.
Yes. But as far as adding any kind of fillers to make the oil go further, or any kind of synthetic ingredients or whatever, they don't do any of that.
They do not. So if you're wanting the pure oils that really are, and the thing is, you save money, you get a cheaper oil. Okay, you save money.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the benefit from it.
Right.
So it's like pay a little bit more and then get the oils that actually are going to help you and make you feel better.
And if it does have any kind of harsh chemical ingredients in it, you're doing yourself a disservice and harming your body by using anything else. So when I talk about ingesting the oils, I am not recommending any other essential oil company for that. Young Living is the only one that I would recommend. If you're going to take them internally, I would highly recommend Young Living for that.
Okay, we are out of time. Anything, I know, it goes quickly. Anything that you want to add on that we didn't get to? Because I know you wrote a lot of stuff that we left out.
Let's see if I can backtrack. Let's see. I know that we had talked about, smelling the oil. If anybody is like, I know I have some friends of mine that are not really like, oh, I don't think I want to ingest, which is totally fine. Yeah. By just smelling the oils, you're going to get a very, very good result from that, because that goes straight into your, into your system, into the part of your brain that is your sense of smell. And so that's going to trigger where your they call it neurochemicals will come up or be released to give you that sense of calmness, relaxation, and all of that. And so it's amazing. God has made our bodies to be such a, I don't know, with the sense of smell.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the best books that I have found, you may have others to recommend, if people want to understand how the whole essential oil things works, is called Healing Oils of the Bible. Have you read that one by Dr. David Stewart?
Yes.
It's amazing because he was he's passed away now, but he was a chemist or a physicist or whatever, but he goes into how everything works at the cellular level. And I was reading that book and my mouth was just, I was like, oh my gosh, really that? And how just one little bit of oil is enough to, work over your entire body. I mean, all that stuff. It's such a good book. I don't know if it's even being printed now. I had to order mine off Amazon, but
yes, as a matter of fact, that you bring that up, that book, we use that in our care seminars that
I'm
we
not
have.
surprised.
So as a care instructor, when I do my seminars, we have a 2-hour time that we talk about oils of the Bible.
Yes.
We talk about how they were used in ancient times, how the Egyptians used them.
Yes. Oh, because they go back way back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thousands
this is nothing new.
Years. No. At times of when Jesus was, here and stuff like that. So they're really amazing. We use that. That's one of our classes in the
Healing Oils of the Bible, and it's Dr. David Stewart, right?
Dr. David Stewart, yes.
So
and
good.
I have those books too to purchase it.
I do
necessary,
as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to wrap it up. Sorry, I know we're having such a good time.
I know. Lots of info.
Yeah. So if people want to connect with you, do you have a website? Do you have a Facebook page, or how can they contact you?
Okay, so probably the easiest way to contact me is on Facebook. So Facebook Messenger. You can just type in my name, Rose Blankenship.
Waco, Texas.
And
you'll show up.
Yeah. And then I also have a private group. It's called Rising Diamond Oilers. Anybody that wants to just
I have a website for that.
Yeah, you can go there. You can ask to join, and I don't do like a big check on you, but most of the time it's people that I know. So then you can go in there, and there's education, and there's videos that I've done, and there's certain things that I make. I make my own hand soaps and different things like that with essential oils and laundry detergent. All different kinds of things that you can look
check up on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I always try to include a fun fact about Waco or Texas. So I came across a couple. Everyone in the town of Dish, Dish, Texas, received free basic television and DVRs for 10 years from Dish Network in exchange for renaming their town to Dish from Clark. So the town was Clark, and they changed it to Dish, and everybody got free Dish Network for 10 years. I thought that was funny. That's great. And then located in Denton County, Dish was established in June 2000. After a commercial agreement to change its name in November 2005, Dish is home to just 200 residents and 60 gas wells, and everybody has Dish networks. I thought that was kind of cool.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
I'll never heard that.
When I lived in Oklahoma, I taught at Mid-American University, and it was called MACU, and we were trying to get a petition going to contact MAC computers and see if they would give some free computers because MACU, like that. They didn't go for it. Oh well. Anyway, I want to thank Rose so much for being here. I really appreciate your coming and talking about. It's one of my favorite things. I love essential oils. They're so healthy. They're so good for you.
Yeah.
If you get the right ones.
Right.
So I appreciate you coming. I am Dr. Melissa Rich, and if you would like to contact me, you can go through my website, www.drmelissarich.com, or you can email me at info@drmelissarich.com. And y'all, I thank you so much for being here today. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and thanks, Rose.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Bye, everyone.